Welcome. Thank you for being here today. Get yourself comfortable. We're going to move right into our meditation, and today we're taking a self-compassion break. So get yourself comfortable, whether it's in your seat and you need to adjust, or you're making any little fine-tuning movements. You might get your thing to have in your lap to hold the weight of your arms. You can also be on the ground or in a bed or in a chair, lying down. Make sure that you can be easeful, as comfortable as possible in the body, undistracted as possible. And then, we get into that space and then we see if we can find a sense of aliveness, certainly awakeness, awareness. And if you are seated, then imagine elongating through the core, your core like your apple core. So not forward, but really a lift through center. And just letting yourself tune in. Tune in to how am I feeling? Sorry, that was not meant to go off. Tune into how you're feeling. As we start this time of inward care, inward attention. How am I feeling? How am I doing this morning? How's the physical body? How is it talking to me? For us here, sitting live in the moment, it's Monday. It's a Monday morning. How does that feel? Is there any mental state or feeling state that comes with that's here for you? And all we're doing is noticing and acknowledging. Just like you might notice the flowers in a garden. Not trying to change them, you're just noticing, oh, what's blooming this morning? And then, as a matter of practice, as a way to interact with a harder moment here in a more sort of contained moment, it's harder to practice when we're just thrown into the hard moment if we don't have any base point of it. So we practice some of these things in a more, I can't find a word better than controlled moment, so that when it comes up in real time, we have a baseline, we have a reference. So call to mind a mildly difficult situation or circumstance or thought that has been coming up or maybe is here now, something that's been here recently, something that's recurring or that's more acute, and not the hardest thing ever, but just something that's kind of mild. I mean, it might have to do with this situation that we're in, or it might not. It might be something else in your life. So call it up and let yourself kind of go into that feeling for a moment, that feeling of challenge. Maybe it's a little thing that's happening in a relationship or a conversation you recently had. or again, a feeling of being kind of pent up in your home or in some other way. And as you go into that situation and that kind of the imagery or the ideas of that, notice where it starts to land in your body. So what sensations begin to arise? It's really helpful to notice, oh, wow. Oh, that thing is, I'm really feeling some density in my solar plexus when I think about that. Or while we were having that conversation, I really felt tense around my shoulders or my neck. So helpful, just basic self-awareness to observe these things. So notice, and if there's nothing, that's fine. If it's just sort of looser, totally fine. And then here's the practice. It's a 3-step self-compassion interruption or break. And this is by Dr. Kristin Neff. She is amazing. Her whole work is based on research and life's work is based on self-compassion. So here's the 3-step process. The first step is to name it. And she recommends just naming it very simply, like, oh, this is suffering, or oh, this hurts, or this is a hard feeling or a hard moment. This is a hard situation. This is just a very basic naming the challenge, naming the difficulty using your words. This is mindfulness. This is awareness. So find a statement that works for you, some words that work for you. This hurts. This is hard for me. This is suffering. And then step 2 is to bring in the fact of shared humanity, to bring in your humanness. So the statement might be, everyone suffers. Everybody goes through hard feelings or hard times, or this situation has happened to lots of people. It's this, I am not alone in this feeling. Shared humanity. And it's kind of, I think of it as 2 ways. It's shared humanity, but it's also, oh, right, I am human. And these feelings are part of being human. So yeah, of course this hurts. Of course I'm going to have these hard times or this response to this hard thing. So find a statement in your own words that relates. And then the third piece, the final piece here, she includes some touch, which I love. So she often does a hands on the heart. You could do a butterfly hug. You could do kind of like a hand over the shoulder, on the shoulder or over the shoulder. So any kind of touch that feels comforting, that feels loving. And this is where we apply and call on the compassion. And the statement can be something like, may I be kind to myself. May I offer myself kindness. in this moment that's really hard for me and I'm hurting, can I be kind to myself like I would be to a friend? So it's this very genuinely warm honey balm. Ow, that hurts. And of course, I'm human. And part of being human is having the experience of pain and hurt sometimes. Oh gosh, may I be kind to myself? What can I offer myself in this moment that would feel kind? And so, if your hands are somewhere on your body, you can keep them there, you can let them go. And because we are scientists doing a scientific experiment, go back into that area of the body that was having sensation or an experience from bringing up your challenging circumstance or thought. And just notice what's there now. It might be totally the same. It might have shifted, it might have changed in some way. And again, we're just noticing, like, oh, how are the flowers right now? And then we'll spend the rest of the time in quiet together. And I invite you to use this three-part self-compassion and for anything that comes up. Oh, I'm feeling so distracted. Okay, I'm distracted. That's distraction. Or, I feel that's restlessness. Naming it, just acknowledging the quality. And then, yes, this is a shared thing. All people get distracted, of course. I'm not alone. I'm not broken. And then may I, always with the kindness, may I be kind to myself about that or in this moment. May I have compassion for myself about that. So another tool that's available every second that it might be useful. If anything's been stirred up in your body, let yourself sort of rest back, come back into the ground of where you are, what you're lying or sitting on. Let the face soften. Feeling the gentleness of your breath. If we were to have a shorthand for this practice, it makes me think of Anne Lamott's book, Help Thinks Wow. Ours could be ouch, of course, and then a heart touch. Ouch, of course, and then just touching the heart, or compassion or kindness. We are probably acutely aware of our shared humanity right now. So may practices like this help us have more compassion for ourselves and others. So good to be with you this morning, just feeling you so strongly. Such a grounding way to start the week. Thank you for being here. Kristin Neff's work is really incredible. Her research has actually shown that the practice of metta, the loving kindness that we did some weeks ago, research shows that it does measurably increase people's ability to have compassion for themselves and others. So it's just remarkable. Such important work. Hi, Bob. Hi, Holly. You're welcome, Courtney. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Like the video. Please share these practices. New Horizons. And I have a new program coming out, speaking of New Horizons, a 4-month program of really just going deep into the practice and using that as a tool to go deep into ourselves. A small group, so high touch, lots of time and attention together. So if you're interested in that, you can let me know or check out my website, Depth is the Remedy. I'm going to log off, but I'm going to keep looking at your comments. I'm so glad, Anne. Yes, here, let me write her name in the quote. Kristin Neff. Yeah, she's amazing. You're welcome, Michelle. You're welcome, Michelle. Oh, hi, Bruce. Thank you. Yes, T, she is amazing. Okay, I'm going to log off, but you can keep commenting. Yes, the compassion is so important. Lisa. Okay, bye. See you Wednesday.